Hey guys, it's Kim here, day 20 of the 100-day video challenge. I've just come off an awesome call with a client, and I got so much really cool stuff, but I can only share one thing with you, otherwise I'd bombard everything here. But so I'm just going to share one thing each day, otherwise it's just going to be far too much for these videos and they're just going to go too long. So hopefully I'll be able to keep remembering what they are, and I'll keep being able to share, because there's so much really great clarity that's coming through, not only in the sessions but also through these videos. And so again, if there's something that you want to know, pop it below, because I'm looking into every question, every query about life and the universe and why we're here. And technically we can get the answers to anything that we want to know. Today I had a really great awareness via, like, the communication was via a client session, which then enabled me to have a chat further with the universe to find out a lot more about why these things happen, which I just love, getting new awarenesses and new learnings. Again, I feel like that's why we're here. I always know when that my life and my business always goes really well when I'm in a constant state of learning. I pretty much live my life now being open to learn something new every day, every second of the day. And when I do, it just feels so great. I just love learning new things. So let me just explain a little bit about what came up in this session, and what I found out to be true about us as humans having an experience here on the planet, and how we can use this to our advantage. So the question that we were dealing with is, why do we beat ourselves up when we've done something bad or wrong in the past? Really, really interesting question, because to look into the behavior and change the behavior, we think, oh, that's really easy, but we just don't change it. So why is it that not only the beating ourselves up, but why do we continue to do things from a place of it being bad or wrong? So people call it self-sabotage. Why do we keep self-sabotaging? It could be anything from beating yourself up for doing stuff in the past. It could be addictions and different elements of, drinking, smoking, eating the wrong foods, not exercising, all these sorts of things that we know we should be doing, but we don't do them, and we have really good intentions. It's really hard because we have such good intentions, and then we just don't follow through. I wanted to investigate that further, and it was so cool what came up. So as I looked into it further, I'm like, why is it that we have good intentions to do things and then we just don't do them, even though we know that they're good for us? Or why is it that we continue to beat ourselves up for things that we've done in the past, when it was in the past and we're wanting to move forward, but it keeps popping into our heads all the time and we keep feeling bad about the things that we do in the past? The awareness that came up is that when we're children, we are, if you want to call it, naive. We're open to whatever comes our way. We're happy in most cases. We go with the flow. We live in the moment. We just are here to have fun. That's who we are as a child, right? If you tap into child's energy, the energy is very innocent, sweet, and this is young children. So what happens over time is that we learn from our parents and school and whatever, discipline. We learn how to behave. We learn what's right and wrong, good or bad, blah, blah, blah. What then happens when we leave home is we continue to have a parent with us but it's within ourselves. We create that parent element within ourselves. So in actual fact, what we do is we carry two parts to ourselves. We have our child side, which wants to have fun, wants to play, wants to be naughty, wants to experience things. And then we have the other side, which is the parent side, which is just taken over from our parents, which is saying, you're not allowed to do that, that's wrong, that's bad, don't do that, don't eat that, don't whatever. So we carry these two sides with us, and we carry that through our life. So what happens is that when you get the voice up saying, the voice that's coming up that's saying, you need to eat better, you need to go to bed early, you need to do all these things, that's the parent voice inside you that you've taken on from when you were younger. The voice that always comes up that says what you should do, what you need to do, what's good or bad, right or wrong, is always the parent voice. But what actually happens, who we really are, is this sweet, innocent, fun, loving, and complete love and joy child. So we are a child, in fact, within who we really are, basically. Now, I'm not saying that we have a child mentality. We actually just have a childlike way of wanting to live. And if you talk to people, in most cases, what they want in their life is freedom. They want happiness. They want joy. Pretty much what they're saying is that they want to pretty much feel like a child feels in this life. But then as an adult, we adopt all these beliefs and processes that then become our new reality. And we've got these two kind of beings within us that are at loggerheads. We actually do have... It feels like that way. We have these like sides of us that I just want to have fun, I just want to be naughty and just have experiences and whatever. And this is like, no, you're not allowed to do that. You've got to be good. You've got to go to bed and you've got to eat these things and you've got to be a nice person and blah, blah. So I wasn't aware of these two different parts of us that are in there until I did this. I had this chat with the universe and found out a little bit more about just this amazing dynamic that we have inside. And it actually makes a lot of sense. This is why we self-sabotage. It's like we know what we should be doing in the adult voice, but the child's like, no, I just want to have fun. I want to be naughty. And so this is where we go, okay, what do we do with this? What I've found is that if you look into something, just say, for example, and I'll give you a couple of different examples. Say, for example, you say, I should be eating better. That's your adult voice saying. What happens is that your child's voice just knows exactly what they should be eating or what they need to eat based around what their body wants and needs. So what then needs to happen in this conversation is that when the adult's voice comes up and says, you need to be eating this, you go, actually, there is a side of me that knows exactly what I should be eating and what feels good within me in this level of, having fun, being joyful, being happy, because when I eat certain foods, that is the result. Like I know as a child that if I eat foods that make me feel good, then I will feel good. But the adult voice is the one that goes, no, you shouldn't eat this and you shouldn't eat that. And so you'll get the child who goes, I know what I want to eat and I know what's good for me and blah, blah, blah. The child will come in and keep saying that, but the adult will be saying, well, no, you're not allowed to be eating that food. And so again, there's that saying, what you resist persists, right? So if you constantly live in a place that is you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you will have resistance come up. Now, when resistance comes up from who you really are, what happens, there's a saying, what you resist persists. So if you continue to have this issue of going around, I should be eating this or I should be doing this or whatever, it'll keep happening time and time again because you're resisting it. So what I'm saying here is that if you can change your adult mind into the child mind, whenever you hear the shoulds, the have tos, the need to, the whatever, whenever you hear that adult mind, I want you to switch into your child mind and go, okay, so from a child's point of view, what would I want to do? And this comes down to, I'll give you an example of where we've been looking at, beating yourself up for doing something wrong in the past. So you've done something wrong in the past. Again, done something wrong in the past. It's like, we're going to beat ourselves up. And so time and time again, what happens when we do something in the past that we have shame over, or we have an experience in the past that we don't like, our adult side is like, you need to be punished. You should feel bad for doing that, because if you don't feel bad, then you're not learning. That's your adult side. So when you do something bad in the past, it's constantly at you. Keep feeling bad, keep feeling bad, keep feeling bad, keep feeling bad. So what then happens is the feeling bad will then create more bad experiences, because you're just carrying that on through your life from the feeling bad, because what happens inside is happening external to you. So the adult saying, you've done something wrong, you need to feel bad for it, so I'm going to keep making you feel bad as an adult. Then the child side's going to come in and go, you know what, I actually did that thing in the past, but at the end of the day, it was just something I needed to experience. I just wanted to know what that felt like. I just wanted to know what that was just like. It was just something to do that I wanted to know what that felt like. So can you see what happens is that if you've done something or something's happened in the past and you come at it with the child mind of, it was just something I wanted to try, it didn't feel good afterwards, or I didn't like how I felt afterwards, so I'm not going to do it anymore, and I'm going to make a choice. When you come at something from a place of choice rather than resistance, not allowed to, what happens is that the thing goes away. It's so powerful. So I'm going to get you guys to play around with the shoulds and the have-tos and the self-sabotage that comes up, and look at the different voices that you have inside of you and see that most of us are running from this adult voice, which isn't even our voice. It's our parent's voice. So it's the parent voice. It's actually not the adult voice. It's the parent voice saying, you should do this, you should do that. You're not a nice person if you do that. And if you've done something bad in the past, then you have to suffer and be punishing yourself and beating yourself up because that was wrong and you shouldn't have done it. That's the parent voice. We want the child voice to come through and say, you know what? That actually happened. It didn't feel good. I didn't like myself for doing it. So I'm actually just going to let that go and I'm going to move on. Because again, when we look at time, time is an illusion. So the only time that exists is this current time. So anything that's happened in the past doesn't actually exist anymore. So why are we hanging on to it and then beating ourselves up for it? It's because it's the parent mind jumping in. Get rid of the parent mind and bring back the child mind into, oh, I just had an experience. Now, you might feel some resistance around this, and that's okay, because feeling that resistance is that parent mind that's taking control of everything and saying you need to suffer for what you've done in the past. But in actual fact, that's not true, and that's not why we're here. Let the child mind come in and go, oops, made a mistake, sorry, I'm going to just go on and keep playing now. Speak with the child mind, because the child mind will be the thing that'll help you move through. It'll help you to let go of stuff, and it'll really help you to connect to who you really are deep down inside. The parent mind isn't actually who we are. We're actually the child mind, and that's the one that we need to listen to. Have a great week.